Greetings, salutations, and good now. I'm local astrologer Kevis Major, doing it major. And in this video, we're going to be talking about the new moon through the 12 houses or through the 12 different aspects of life. So in this video, we're going to be talking about how this new moon is going to potentially affect you. Now, to know how this new moon is going to affect you personally on a deeper level, you need to have a natal reading and you need to do what is called a transit reading. The transit reading is going to tell you about what's happening right now. So what I'm about to do is somewhat sort of a transit reading. Okay, we're going to talk about the new moon and how it's going to affect the different aspects of life, and you're going to fit into one of these categories because the new moon is going to be aspecting a certain house in your chart, and that represents how it's going to influence or affect, not infect you. All right, so first let's talk about the moon. So the moon deals with our receiving abilities, how we react and respond to people, places, things, circumstances, and situations that surround us. It deals with our inner man, our inner woman, or our inner child. Talks about our inner nakedness and wanting to feel covered and clothed and warm and comforted and comfort. So when we talk about the moon, we see that we're talking about our inner self, yeah, and how we receive energies, our feminine energy. Even if you're a male, you know what I'm saying, your feminine energy. So the new moon signifies a shift or a new mode, a new feeling, mood that we're trying to sustain. And the sustenance of this mood is what is going to propel us to achieve certain goals and intentions that we set for ourselves. It's almost like setting an intention in internal tension for yourself, so that that tension could be used as a spring to catapult you to your desired goal, if you get what I'm coming from, on an esoteric level, on a kind of Rastaman kind of vibe. So the new moon is a time for us to program this inner tension that will serve as fuel to propel us towards our desired goals. This new moon is also predicated heavily on transformation and transforming some aspect of our life, because it's happening during the Scorpio season and the moon is in Scorpio. So it's like a double whammy, triple whammy, because Mercury is there as well, and a quadruple whammy because we have a grand water trine that helps us to connect deeper with this point in time that we are experiencing. So just gearing your mind up towards what the moon represents, what a new moon is signaling. It's just a shift in terms of, you know, the intentions that we had set for ourselves. And we use these moon phases to do our rituals and moon magic, and to just be in more alignment with the cosmos and with nature. And so it's very important to track the moon and to study the moon and to understand what to do and what not to do during the different moon phases. So during the new moon, as it suggests, a time of renewal and doing new things and starting new things, and, you know, setting new powerful intentions for yourself and for your personal and spiritual growth. All right, so let's get into it. New moon through the houses. So if you have the new moon, this new mode, this new mission, internal mission in your first house, okay, in the first house, this is going to be a fresh start in how you present yourself, your personal identity. Self-confidence grows and perfect for redefining your goals. Now this is so similar to a video that I did with Scorpio through the houses, because a new moon sort of plays out that scorpionic energy of transformation and rebirth and renewal and regeneration. So again, if you have the new moon in the first house, then it's a fresh start to how you present yourself. Your personal identity shifts. A new level of self-confidence grows, and it's a perfect time for redefining your goals. Now, before I go any further, this is something very important that I needed to just get off as a disclaimer. All right, so let me just stick a pin in it and get this off my chest. When it comes to the new moon and these new intentions and these new goals that you're setting, you need to have had cleansed and cleaned your plate and cleaned your emotional cache, and even physically finish certain projects and endeavors that needed to be completed before going on to these new things. So it's a tricky time where if there were some shadow work that you were doing, if there were some intentions that you had already set that you haven't completed, if there's emotional turmoil and baggage that you're bringing into the new moon, you could be potentially setting up yourself for chaos. You understand me? Or for new negative situations and circumstances to arise in your life. Because if you're already in a position where you're not completing certain tasks and you're not letting go of certain emotional baggage, you're not releasing and cleansing and freeing up yourself so you could take on more. Sometimes you need to let go and shed so you could be able to do more, have more energy and vitality. So it's very important to have had clean and cleanse your space and cleared your palate per se as you move forward into the new moon. So, I'm saying, word to the wise is enough. You could still do a bit of cleaning, but it might be a bit too late because the new moon is already here. So that's where you gotta be on timing and gotta tap into astrology. All right, if you have the new moon in the second house, this is gonna be changes with your values, renewing of self and self-worth and finances, opportunity to clear limiting beliefs about money and security. If you have the new moon in the third house, it's going to be new beginnings when it comes to communication, learning, local connections, and being sociable. Great for starting projects relating to writing, networking, and research. If you have this new moon in the fourth house, your focus is going to be on family dynamics, healing, family trauma, setting boundaries, or literal relocation of home or renovations. So things to do with your home, family life, private life as well. Anything that makes you feel comfortable or give you that sense of home. If you have the new moon in the fifth house, this will bring renewal energy when it comes to creativity, romance, self-expression flourishes at this time. It's ideal for creative projects, exploring your passions, and reconnecting with your inner childhood. If you have the new moon in the sixth house deals with our job, our routine, our health, and our regimen, our daily in and out. So this is an opportunity to assess your daily habits, your routines, and to implement supportive practices. If you have the new moon or this new mood in the seventh house, this is going to be speaking towards new partnerships or reevaluating existing partnerships. This may involve addressing relationship imbalancing and just deepening connection at this time. If you have this new moon in the eighth house, you should be setting new goals and intentions around your emotional and financial transformations, like inheritance, debt, joint finances. Intense time for intimacy and power dynamics in the eighth house. So again, setting new intentions and new goals for your intimacy and certain power dynamics. If you have this new moon in the ninth house, this is going to be a good time for you to set new goals or new intentions when it comes to your beliefs, your spiritual pursuits and studies. A time for soul searching and diving deeper into philosophy, planning, and just learning. Also, time for planning that trip, that long distance journey that you've been thinking about. If you have, forgive me for the fouls in the yard, if you have this new moon in the 10th house, yeah, the 10th house speaks towards our status, our career, our public image. So there's going to be a shift when it comes to, our profession or our aspirations. And this is a powerful time to, reevaluate, your ambition and what you really want out of life. If you have the new moon, or if you're having a shift in your inner workings in the 11th house, this is going to affect your friendships and alliances. You're going to see new social circles being birthed and involving yourself in different social causes. So this is a time, to reassess your long-term goals and join groups and clubs that align with that vision. Last but not least, if you have this new mood in the 12th house, yeah, this is going to be dealing with inner healing and some spiritual revelation in some way, shape, or form. So a great time for introspection, shadow work, meditation, and releasing past wounds, or releasing your karma. No, releasing karma is a whole separate video on its own, because a lot of people really need to dive deep into that. Because anyway, that's a whole different video. I ain't even gonna get into that right now. All right, so that's the new moon through the houses. Very similar to Scorpio through the houses, because again, the new moon speaks towards renewal, transformation, and just that type of getting ready to spring birth, you know what I'm saying, to a new emotional chapter. And before we end this video, again, just want to stress about this grand water trine that we are experiencing, and the stellium in Scorpio. A lot of emotional energies demand, so people gonna to cool out. I know that we are speaking about a water sign, and water could be perceived as cooling and calming and refreshing, but water could be hot and boiling. You understand me? And seawater in and a back door, man, a drown and them kind of things. You understand me? So water, a lot of water, could take people life. You understand me? And I'm trying to explain it in a type of way to show people that this time could be really, really chaotic, as much as it could be very, very healing. You understand me? And transformative and soothing and refreshing. So we need to go through this point in time with a certain level of sensitivity and seriousness, because believe it or not, your life depends on it. The energies don't lie. So if you have a lot of water and the water is chaotic, think about choppy sea waters, think about, what I'm saying, lot of snow falling or something. Just think about natural elements that consist of water that is chaotic. And so in the physical, so in the spiritual and esoteric realms and stuff like this. Anyway, major farewell until we greet again. I'm local astrologer Kevis Major, wishing each and every one of you a major new moon. Doing it major.